pitch whisperer day, guys. Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
money.
Let's get to the
money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting played. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. You can see me back here every time it's like Gone in 60 Seconds when Nicolas Cage is just getting bumped. That's me when the song's playing. Welcome to the Balking Dead. I am your host, Sharpie's Bets, and this show is still sponsored by Prize Picks. So if you haven't, go on over there, use that promo code PUBSPORTS. Why? Your first match deposit up to $100. They got you. So do us a favor, do you a favor, and use that promo code PUBSPORT. If you are in Twitter world, this video will end shortly. Hit that link and come join the motherfucking crew. And let's get to the monies, guys. So shout out to you guys. Smash the like if you already haven't. And yeah, once we get the 50 likes like we do every fucking day on this show, we will talk about the extra pitcher where everything is telling you from the books to bet the under. And like we said with Kopech the other day, guys, when it's fucking weird, just you either go with it or you stay off of it. So I'm going to tell you to either go with somebody later on or stay the fuck away from him because the books are begging for under money. So smash that like and let's get to 50. And let's get to these K-props. Today, guys, we got 9 K-props to talk about. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for actually getting back and responding. All but one person said K-props, Sharpie. And you couldn't have said anything else to make me fucking happier other than a 350-pound woman. So at the end of the day, baseball's my second love, baby, and let's get to it. We got 3 dirty Ks today, and we got to get to money, guys. So let's get to it. First guy up on the board is Joe Muskrat, a.k.a. Joe Musgrove. On this show, I will call people by different names, and that's because I just am. That's who I am. So let's get to it. He opened up last night 6+ at a -146, and this morning he was a 6+ -129. And right before the show, he was at a -134. So not too much of a movement. It did spike down at first, but it's been sitting right around the same. Prize Picks has him at a 5.5. And fantasy scores at 838.5. Over the last 10 games, he's averaging 5.8 strikeouts. Over the last 8, he's averaging 6, and over the last, he's averaging 5.3. Thank you, fucking COVID, for giving us this number. This is the first dirty K of the day, and let's get to it. And what are you talking about? Thank you, COVID. Well, at the end of the day, most of the time, they're going to give you averages. They're going to go through a guy's game log, and they're going to give you his averages, and that's what the fuck we're getting with Joe Musgrove. No fishy alarms, no nothing going off right here, guys. And at the end of the day, the first game back from COVID, he had 1 strikeout. Thank God Mr. Joe Musgrove is number 27 in our black book, and I write down notes like that each game I track, guys. At the end of the day, I will not play a guy coming off the IL, but I'm going to mark it down, and I expect you to have a bad game. So he had a bad game strikeout wise, and that's what we're here to talk about. So yeah, let's get to the monies on Mr. Joe Musgrove, number 27 in the black book. Mr. fucking consistent, 8.8, 8.8, 8.8, 8.8. And I am speaking of home road strikeouts per 9 and lefty versus righty per 9. At the end of the day, he is lineup proof. He is home road proof. He is going to give you a strikeout per inning pretty much. Well, at the end of the day, what are they running today? Projected 6 right-handed bats, 3 left-handed bats. And like I said, it really doesn't matter with him strikeout-wise, but he does allow a 199 average compared to a 235 average to the right-handed side. So he owns lefties way better than righties, but still a 235 is just fucking beautiful. So let's get a little bit deeper. Same home road ERA, guys, and after 15 straight games going 6+ innings, he's only gone 6+ innings 2 of his last 5 games. Well, I can find a legit reason in the black book any game he hasn't hit 6+ strikeouts, including last week versus San Francisco, where I told you to stay off of him. I gave you that little nugget about San Francisco, about how they are one of the better fastball hitting teams over the last few years. And Joe Musgrove relies on his fastball about 50% of the time, and it just doesn't work out strikeout-wise versus this team. He usually goes deep versus San Francisco and will have a good game, but the strikeouts just end up not being there, and that was the case. So I can literally go back through every game where he hasn't hit more than 6 and tell you why he didn't get it and reasons why I was off of him that day. Today, there's nothing in here telling me that I should be worried, guys. Yes, the strikeout numbers from the Marlins, and I know a lot of people say, oh, the Marlins strike out a lot. Well, not by the numbers, guys. They are 21% strikeout percentage with a 214 average, 618 OPS, and an ISO of a 125. They are walking 7.4%, and this will be now the second time this year that Musgrove has seen them, and that's where I like to get into to the black book, guys, is I'm going to run those numbers up from May 8th to today, and they weren't striking out back then. They're actually 1% better or worse now, and they're now walking 2.5% worse than where they were at last time. Their average in OPS has dropped. This is a different team than what Joe Musgrove did and seen in May 8th, and he went 7 innings, 2 earned runs with 8 strikeouts. Everything tells me he should do better than that today. We're getting the man's average, and we got him at a good juice, guys. So give me some Joe Musgrove for the first 30K of the day. 6+. I bet him at a -129. Right before the show, he was at a -134. Now we get into the other side of this spot in this other pitching matchup, guys, and we've got aces all across the board, guys, and we're not talking fucking card room, guys. We're talking baseball, and that's like makes my hands fucking sweat. And I think I got something here, guys, and I'm not saying like I've been preaching Alcantara, and we've been staying off the right signs with him in his strikeout prop. At the end of the day, if I was to bet unders, this would be someone I would bet, but this is also Iron Man. So you're fucking around with a guy who can go 7 to 9 innings at any given day. And that's where I see him needing today with that strikeout prop of where it's at. He opened at 6+ at +102. This morning he was at +110, and right before the show at +112. So it's steadily slow money coming in on the under. And I don't have the balls to bet any man named Sandy Alcantara under, let alone I really don't bet unders. That's just not for me. But I can see it and understand it, guys. At the end of the day, over his last 10, he's averaging 6.3 strikeouts a game. Over his last 8, 6.4, and over his last 6, 6.3. And now, is that an alarm bell that they're giving you plus money on a guy and is averaging everything over that? Well, yes and no. To me, no. There's always going to be yes and no's when I say that. And when I will say that repeatedly and then either say to me yes, to me no. Well, that's because I've found more things that lean into that favor. And at the end of the day, the Padres just are one of those teams that have not been striking out all year, and let alone the deadline. They are bottom 5 right now in swing and miss and striking out. This team just isn't striking out. Not saying that Sandy Alcantara can't go out there and put his fucking dick on the table, because he has done that many, many, many times this year. Well, Prize Picks, they have him at a 5+ at a -201, and his fantasy score is at a 36.5. Now, when I do his math, his home roads, it's pretty much the same. He does average 0.3 more on the road, but not much. 7.7K per 9 at home, and he dominates the right-handed side with strikeouts, guys. It's 9.4 per 9 from the right-handed side, down to a 7.3 per 9 from the left-handed side. And the Padres are projected to send out 5 left-handed bats and 4 right-handed bats. So math numbers don't favor him strikeout-wise, but average, he dominates both sides with a sub-2 average from the left or right-handed side. So it doesn't really matter. They haven't been hitting him each way, but the strikeouts definitely come more from the right-handed side. Well, let's get into number 8, guys, of the Black Book. And smash the fucking like if you already haven't, because we're at 22. And, yeah, let's get to it. If we get to that 50 spot, which I know we will talk about the 10th pitcher. And, yeah, let's get to it. Sandy Alcantara, Iron Man. You could pretty much pencil this guy in for 6+ innings. And already knowing, guys, how I like to run Alcantara, I knew the Padres were not the fucking spot to play him. Not saying he doesn't hit, guys. I'm not that guy. But league average whiff percentage is 25.4. The Padres are at a 24.4. He is a guy where we like to run him whiff percentage, not trace percentage. And when I dig through the whole fucking Black Book, there is only one time this year he has hit 6 strikeouts where the team's whiff percentage was below 25, guys. So this is a spot which is telling me, and he had to go 9 innings for that. So if he goes 9 innings, by what I can see, guys, he should hit that strikeout prop, guys. And at the end of the day, this guy is looking to pitch to contact, and he's going up against a beast-ass fucking team right now, hitting 293 average, 879 OPS with a 211 ISO over the last 15 days. They're walking almost at an 11% rate, and they're not striking out by the numbers. Yes, he did play this team May 6th, not the same team, and he did only have 5 strikeouts in 4.2 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. So do I expect a better game from him? Yes, but at the end of the day, the Padres before Soto Bell, weren't striking out and added 2 more guys that just ain't striking out at this moment. So strikeout props aren't going to be fun running against the Padres right now. You better have some really good reasoning to be running it. And I get it. Sandy Alcantara is a good reason to run it. So I get it if you're on it, but I also get it if you're off. And that's why I have to pass. Not enough there saying Sharpie fucking bank this one. But by breaking down 9, I got the 3. And we already gave out one of them earlier. And let's talk about another guy that I'm not going to be on. And this is a guy where if I bet unders, I'd actually look to bet his under. Now, call me fucking crazy, but Gerrit Cole, 9+ this morning was at a -182. And right before the show, it's still the same at a -182, but the plus money on 10+ was at a +120, and now it's at a +112. So some people are betting that 10+. And I get it, but I'm going to get a little sneaky into this, guys, and get to what some things that the Black Book's telling me, guys. And now, is the Black Book always right? Can I read into it a little too much? Sometimes, yes. But there are some things that I've learned to pay attention in betting props, guys, that this is something that has fucking kicked me square in the balls many of times where I said, oh, we'll just let this one go and see if it doesn't hit. It's because of this reason. Well, that because of this reason popped up more often than not and kept taking money from me and my family, and we ended up eating butter noodles, guys, and butter noodles just aren't the way to fucking go. We need at least meat in them, guys, so let's not be those guys who eat butter noodles. Gerrit Cole, guys, at the end of the day, we've been on him the last few times, and he's been cashing us. He is one of those guys that can strike out somebody, 3 people in the side. When we look dead, he can go out there and just fucking yacht. Oh, cash it, Sharpie, thank you, and make me look good. Now, at the end of the day, you cap the whole game, not the way it starts, but at least you know guys like Dylan Cease, guys like Ohtani, guys like a lot of the guys we run do have that fucking shit to put down its whole side if needed. And sometimes you need that. And especially with these high numbers that we do run, we do need that. So let's get into Gerrit Cole. He's averaging 8.7 over his last 10, 8.4 over his last 8, and 9 strikeouts over his last 6. This is the only Yankee pitcher I will bet on from here on out. You will never hear me talk about another Yankee pitcher unless Severino comes back, and then we'll make a sample size of when he gets healthy. But I will not bet on Montas. I will not bet on German. I will not bet on any of these guys because Aaron fucking Boone. It's not because of them. It's because Aaron Boone's a fucking quack and will pull these guys for no fucking reason, guys. At the end of the day, he's kicked me in my balls too many times that I have got the Aaron Boone fucking cross going, guys. I will not bet on a pitcher other than Gerrit Cole right now of a Yankee, guys. And today is going to be a hard pass for me, and I think he hits the under. But fucking around with an under on Gerrit Cole is like fucking no bueno sometimes. At home, he's averaging 12.2 strikeouts per 9. On the road, it's 11 per 9. He's at home here, and there is projected some rain, but not a lot. Left-handed, he's striking out 12.4 compared to 10.9 from the right-handed side. I say compared to 10.9, like 10.9 ain't bad, but it's always nice to see a right-handed pitcher dominate the left-handed side from strikeout-wise, guys. But I do know they are very analytical, just like fucking Sharpie's Bets is analytical, and these Rays ain't fucking stupid, guys. And they're going to see what I seen. And at the end of the day, lefties do strike out a lot and only hit 171 off of Gerrit Cole, while righties are hitting a 245. So the projected lineup does project us 5 left-handed bats out there. I don't expect the Rays to put that out there. At the end of the day, that is a projection. And you've got to understand which teams are analytical and which teams are not. And I'm really analytical, guys, and then I take that into others. I'm not strictly by the numbers. I do know guys that do go by the numbers, and I'm not going to say that's wrong. I just like I told you, if you just played the numbers, you played Alex Wood last night and you cashed. I'm not going to say it's the wrong way to play K-props. Just not the way I look after it, guys. I want to keep my bets down to a minimum and perfect the guys I like to bet on. And everything here tells me that it's a hard pass. And let's get into number 2 in the black book, Mr. Gerrit Cole. Mr. 6+ innings. 19 of his last 20 games have been 6+ innings. Now he gets the Rays for the 4th time this year, guys. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 10 Ks back on May 28th. And then a back-to-back where it was 6 innings, 0 earned runs, and 7 Ks. And then he swapped them with the old 12 K on the back-to-back, guys. Woo, you always got to love when a guy goes up from a 7 to whop 12. But we tell you that all the time. If a guy doesn't get a lot of strikeouts the first time, then look towards it the second time. If he gets a fuck ton the first time, like when we talk about Spencer Strider later, we've already figured him out. The second time for this guy seeing a team has not been good. Not saying he ain't good. They're just not going to strike out, though, a boatload of fucking times after doing it the first time, like at the end of the day. So when you only strike out 7, you think you got this guy's number in your head mentally, and then he came out and dropped his nuts on the table that day, and he got a 12, guys. So I do understand all the money that came on the open. But when I run these numbers up versus all the other numbers in the black book and know the Tampa Bay Rays are not hitting, average OPS is just trash. The only time this team was hitting when they seen him was May 28th, and he's owned this team, guys. At the end of the day, they've scored 2 earned fucking runs in a whopping 21 innings. So at the end of the day, this guy's put his dick down. But this is a strikeout prop we're talking about. I'm not talking about pitching outs, and if it was pitching outs, I would look towards the over, but I'd look more towards the hits under today. That's the spot maybe I might have to bet Gerrit Cole because I do expect a dominant performance. I just don't know if the strikeouts are there. And now the issue that I'm going to go through, guys, is the 10.7 walk percentage that the Tampa Bay Rays have right now over their last 200 plate appearances. So that's the issue I'm having with playing Gerrit Cole. When I run through the whole black book, any team with a 9.5% walk percentage or better where he's gone up against, or 9.8 walk percentage or better, because they're at a 10.7, and that's absurd. That's considered top 3 in baseball. Anytime where he's gone up against that, guys, he is 0-3 to the number 9, averaging 7.3 strikeouts a game. So I can't fuck with that, guys. There's enough there telling me it's a 4th time seeing a team, and it's also telling me, like, when a team's walking at that high of a rate, he's had an issue with the number 9. And really, we need 10 because 9 is at a minus 182. And there's no way in fucking hell you're going to see me bet a minus 182 prop, guys. Like, I do put some money on my K props, but I ain't got that type of fucking money to be losing that type of juice, guys. So it's going to be a hard pass for Gerrit Cole for me today, guys. And let's get into some more people because this is fucking ace day, and it's just more pitchers who are good at striking people out, and they're all in my book. So smash the fucking like if you already haven't. 50-something deep, 30-something likes. Once we get to 50 likes, we will add in the 10th pitcher, the shady pitching prop of the day. I've got to come up with the name of it, guys, because I know all the time where I say if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Well, if it don't make sense with the bookies, it makes fucking dollars, guys, fading it. And we called it with Kopech last week, and we called it a lot of these times. And I'm tired of losing money, so I had to put some on it this time. So I know we're getting to 50. We're almost there as I'm speaking about it, so I'll shut the fuck up and I'll get to more baseball. Carlos the Cookie Man Carrasco, Cookie Monster. He's at 5.5 price picks. He's at a 30.5 fantasy score, and he opened this morning at a 6+ minus 120, or opened last night at a 6+ at a plus 130. This morning he was at a minus 112 at the 6+. So he took about 42 cents of money, guys, and I get it. I get it. And right before the show, he was back up to a plus 122. So I also get that too. So let's talk about it. The Cookie Man. He's averaging 5.5 over his last 10, 5.8 over his last 8, and 5.7 over his last 6. All understandable why they put it at a 6. And why would they give us plus money and not like a minus 130 to start it out? Well, it's a back-to-back. So I understand the plus money too. So there's nothing fucking shady alarm going off yet. So let's keep going. Home road guys averages the same amount of strikeout per inning. And then lefties and righties, this is where it gets different. He does strike out right-handed batters one more per 9 than left-handed batters at a 9.4 to the right-handed side. They are projected 6 right-handed bats and 3 left-handed bats, which fall into his favor. Now, the Cookie Man, number 32 in the black book. Woo, he's got a home 3.35 ERA and a road 4.41. 4.41 ain't too bad, guys. At the end of the day, a 4.5 is 3 runs every 6 innings. So take that ERA, fucking 4.5 is that's a middle of the pack solid fucking pitcher, guys. If you're giving up 3 runs every 6 innings and you're getting that fucking quality start for us in that fantasy score over on Prize Picks. So he's been that dude, guys. And the last 6 weeks, he's actually been even fucking better. The Cookie Man maybe have figured something out, guys. Going 6+ innings in 4 of his last 5 games, including 11 days ago versus this fucking team. He went 6 innings, 3 earned runs with 6 strikeouts 11 days ago. He also faced this team May 3rd, where he went 8 innings, 0 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts. Now, last week, I was afraid to run him. And if you did run him, you cashed. They had it at a 6, and it was at the juiced money. I think it was almost up to 130 to a 150-ish range, if I could remember or call it off my head. And my theory to that guy was I was afraid of the Braves beating the fucking shit out of him. Now, at the end of the day, I try to bet K-props where the guy's going to be out there and deal the whole game, and he's going to look good the whole game. Now, yesterday I did bet Gosman. Now, that guy got the living shit kicked out of him, and he still cashed. Those are not the games I like to be involved in. Now, the games I like to be involved in is like what Lance Lynn did and so on and so forth. So more often than not, I would say 90% of the time, the guy I'm on is going to go 6+ innings because I'm projecting him to be out there 6+ innings and dominate. I'm not projecting the guy to get hit and hit a K-prop. I know you can cash tickets like that. I don't want to be involved in volatility, guys, and that's where I seen last week. And he started humming, and then he had a really bad inning, and then he locked it back in, and he got them 6 strikeouts. But the volatility was there, and I felt really good staying off of it, even though it cashed. At the end of the day, you gotta fucking put yourself out fucking rules, guys. And the rule with him was the volatility right there scared me. Now he's got a back-to-back with the same team who's fucking crushing the fucking ball. Like, at the end of the day, I get it if you're betting this K-prop because of the strikeout numbers that Atlanta has. They are striking out almost 27% of the time, same as they were last 11 days ago when he seen them. And now they're even walking less than what they were 11 days ago. They were at a measly 7.1%. Now they're at a 6.4%. The average in OPS has gone up, and the ISO stayed the same. So at the end of the day, this is going to be a quick hook type of game, I think, guys, with Carlos Carrasco. So now if he goes humming this week and then gets into that hiccup, I expect Buck Showalter to go motherfucking to that beast of a bullpen that he has, because this series means a lot. Their bullpen is nice and fucking rested coming into here. They've had their pitchers going 6-7 innings over the last few games. And now they're coming into this series with a stacked bullpen, guys. So I expect quick hooks on guys like Carrasco going versus a team in the same 11 days where he could get hit and the numbers say he could get smashed. Now, it's 11-day period. He's only seen one team this year on a back-to-backer within 11 days. And he got hit hard the first time, and then he got hit hard the second time, and his strikeouts did go up. And that was versus a Houston Astros team who at that time of the year was not fucking striking out. So to even have your strikeouts go up to 4 versus a team from 2 to 4, that's good. So I do understand the people betting the over, but then I get the shit on why people are like me, and I've got to stay off of him today because there's not enough in there in your book and in your game log of you pitching versus the same team on a back-to-back or within a 15-day period. And to me, that 15-day period is something I've learned to stay the fuck away from. Now, will they cash? Will they not cash? Yes and no, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, I track my bets. My ROI on guys that were pitching within a 2-week period was just fucking bad. Now, we'll get to the guy at the end because we're almost at 50 likes where we're going to talk about where it doesn't make sense. You just got to bet it sometimes. You just got to plug your fucking nose. The books aren't dumb, and they're begging. We're going to get to that later, guys, where the back-to-back where we're going to have to go over because the books are begging for the under. So at the end of the day, they're giving you the same number because the books don't know. There is the volatility there of him getting the shit kicked out of him. And there is the volatility, and there is the percent there of him getting them strikeouts. So at the end of the day, it's an easy pass for me. I'm not going to fuck with these Atlanta Braves in a 2-week period. Nah. Not when I have other spots that were screaming, "Oh, Poppy, baby Poppy!" So shout out to my man Noli fucking knows who got me into betting 3 games because I used to be a volume better, guys, and you'd be going fucking crazy betting volume, but you would be surprised if you could lock it in, guys, and just pick 3 a day and be profitable, hit 2 out of 1, that you're paying yourself. And at the end of the day, it's about paying ourselves, and it's been working for me really fucking well this year. So shout out to my guy Noli for giving me that into my repertoire of capping, and it's been really fucking great, guys. And today I was able to go through 10 pitchers and lock in on 3 guys. And I feel like, even though the line may have moved here and there versus me, that's always a good thing. When the line moves versus me, I fucking cash, baby. Woo! Ric Flair shit, baby. At the end of the day, if you beat the line, you just beat the juice. They still got to do their job. So some of these dirty Ks I'm about to give you today, you're going to get a better number than what I bet at the end of the day. Who cares? Let's just fuck them in the eye hole and cash some tickets. So smash the like if you haven't. 60 deep on a Monday. I know we're going to get to 100 because that's what we do on Mondays. And let's start hitting them realms and hitting them bank accounts. So let's get to it. I got to pass, like I said, on the Cookie Man, but there's other guys that we ain't passing on. And let's get the same game going, guys, because there's a beast on the other side of the mound. We've got Quadzilla, a.k.a. Mustache Man, a.k.a. Spencer motherfucking Strider, a.k.a. Pussy Boy. We'll get into all that when we get into that. But he opened up last night at a 6+ minus 140. This morning he was at a 7+ plus 112. And right before the show, he was at a 7+ at plus 114. His 6+ went from a 162 to now a minus 182. So fantasy score 35.5 for young Spencer Strider. Now let's get into his strikeout prop. 8.1 strikeouts over his last 10 games, 8.3 over his last 8, and 8 over his last 6. So is there alarm bells that they put it at a 7? No. He's now going up on a back-to-back versus the New York Mets. Now, last night I ran a half-unit prop on Wheeler, and Wheeler had numerous chances, guys, to cash, and he didn't. I'm going to get into a little theory of Strider Wheeler, guys, that's fucking fucked me. And I'm going to take this into it, and I've learned. I've taken K-props of Wheeler the day after Strider. Now, I know they're on different teams, but they obviously pitch around the same day, and they're like on the same fucking schedules, guys. So it's crazy how often Spencer Strider pitched, then the very next day, Zach Wheeler would come in after him, and Zach Wheeler wouldn't hit his K-prop that day, and Spencer Strider would dick him down. Now, Spencer Strider throws 98 plus with a wipeout fucking slider. Now, a lot of people will tell you Zach Wheeler has a slider. He does, but that's not his main fucking strikeout pitch. He throws a 97 plus fastball and a cutter that looks and reacts like a slider, but it's not a slider, guys. It's a cut fastball that he does get a lot of his strikeouts with. So he is a little bit different, but at the end of the day, the same velocity back-to-back days hasn't been good for me running these guys. So let's get a little deeper into that. At home, he does average a strikeout and a strikeout, 2 strikeouts more Jesus Christ, 14.9 at home compared to a 12.8 on the road, and we do have them home here. And 12.1 versus lefties per 9 compared to a 16.5 versus righties. I get that he dominates righties like that. His slider is that fucking nasty, and it breaks away from the righties. He does use his changeup, but not enough, guys. And first time versus the Phillies, didn't use it, wasn't there. Strikeouts weren't there. Then he played a back-to-back versus the Phillies. The changeup was there. The strikeouts were there. Now, last week, he went up versus the Mets and got yapped and went. Now, this is where I'm going to call Pussy Boy and why I called you Pussy Boy. If you don't know, he went to the newspapers and the reporters and just whined and cried. And you don't fucking do that, bro. This is baseball. Buckle the fuck down and stop being a little pansy. I'm sure the older guys talked to him, and they should have talked to him at the end of the day. The dude was being a fucking punani. So, yeah, Spencer Strider, don't be bitching after this game. He does have a 2.76 ERA at home and a 3.48 on the road. He is at home here where his strikeouts are better also. We've learned to stay off this guy's second time seeing a team, but he's also handled one back-to-back. Now, that doesn't make sense. Well, the first time on the back-to-back with the Phillies, that was the second time seeing a team. So then he's seen him again after that, and he dominated them the third time. But the second time has not been good for Spencer Strider. Well, this is now the third time, and he has shown adjustments. The one time he's been put in this situation, I just can't trust him enough, guys. He is a fucking kid, and he was crying last time. You can't let your emotions get involved with baseball. If you're going to be high and jacked up on your emotions, this could be a long fucking day for Spencer Strider, guys. I need you to be even keel. I need you to be calm. And I don't know if I'm getting that with him today. I think he's going to be a little too pumped up that first inning, and it might be detrimental to him, guys, at the end of the day. He went 2 innings, 4 earned runs with 5 strikeouts, guys, and I get it. What, he can't get 6 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts, no matter what the number? Yeah, he can. I'm not going to bet his fucking under. That's not for me, I'll tell you that. But he is coming in off a 7 days rest. And he did come in off his last back-to-back on 7 days rest, and that was helpful to him. But there's just not enough things to show me that on back-to-backs, he's only had one, guys, and that's not versus these Mets at the end of the day. These are the Mets. They don't strike out, and they're just one of those teams that making really good contact. So too much there for me just not to jump on it, but I don't hate it if you're on it, but I had to straight say pass. We've got a few more pitchers and 2 more dirty Ks to talk about. We're going to hit a fucking commercial and get right to the fucking money. Woo-hoo. Hey, I was like hiding backstage, like, hey, where am I at, guys? Well, I'm back, man. Cook crack, as my boy Two Chains would say. But let's get into it, guys. Freddie fucking Peralta and Julio Urias. We're gonna talk about them both, and then the next 4 people we're going to talk about, it's all the same games, guys. We're going to stay in LA for both of these pitchers, and there's money to be made on these guys. So smash the like if you haven't. 70 deep already. We hit that 50 plus like I knew we would. We always hit 50 likes now. That's been the new norm. So we'll talk about Josiah Gray at the end and how they're trying to bait people to the under. Oh, master baiter, never fader. Let's get to it. Fast Freddie Peralta versus the Dodgers, guys. He opened up at 6 plus 114. He's now at a plus 106. A little bit of money coming in on him. He's on Prize Picks at a 5.5 with no fantasy score, and he's now on his 3rd game off the IL, which is a little fucking worrisome. But because they've only let him go 67 and 65 pitches in both those games, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's do some math. This guy averages a 0.8 more strikeouts on the road than he does at home, with 11.2 per nine on the road. And he strikeouts more than 11 per nine from both sides of the plate, left-handed and right-handed. And the Dodgers are projected 5 left-handed bats and 4 right-handed bats. And the Dodgers are one of those teams who are very analytical now, guys, at the end of the day. And it tells you that it's not just the strikeouts, it's the batting average as well is worse from the left-handed side. So Freddie Peralta could be in for a long day, but the strikeouts are there, guys. And the people I know the Dodgers are going to put in that lineup that should be in the lineup, Bellinger, Gallo, there's a good 3 strikeouts in just them. Now, my only issue with running Peralta, and I'd be on Freddie Peralta, he is in the black book now that he's off the IL. He is the newest member of the black book, number 56. This is a guy I've bet plenty of fucking times now. I had about 10 notebooks, guys, that at All-Star break, I decided to put them all into one and buckle on down and get to where it needed to be. And I had 3 fucking days to make one book. And now it's easy to add people in. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes. And yeah, let's talk about Freddie Peralta, guys. He missed 2 months due to a lat strain. And now this is his 3rd game off the IL, going 67 and 65 pitches his last 2 games out. I expect to see an increase, but I would not be surprised if they keep him around that rate. At the end of the year, the guy has been injury prone. He hasn't pitched a lot of innings every year. And if the Milwaukee Brewers want the best Freddie Peralta, they probably need to keep him right around that 75 pitch rate, guys, and then just go to that bullpen who hasn't been the bullpen. But Freddie Peralta, you got to watch his innings, guys, because the guy's been injury prone. So at most today, I wouldn't expect more than a 80 to 85 tops, but I can't expect or bet people that are on pitch counts, guys. If he wasn't on a pitch count, I'd look at riding this guy today. This guy is a big game pitcher, and I expect this guy to be and if they put the lineups out there that I expect to put the lineups, I'm going to be on the first 5 under at the end of the day, guys. If they put more lefties than righties out there, I expect Freddie Peralta to be out there 5 solid innings. And lefties right now are hitting a measly 159 compared to a 271. So the Dodgers aren't as stupid as you would think. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is a right-handed dominant lineup, because they're going to look and see what I see. And they see this guy fucking dominates the left-handed side with a 159 average. You got to trust some people to put him in those spots, and I don't think Gallo's earned the trust yet, guys. Gavin Lux has. He should be in the lineup, guys. Bellinger has been turning it around, so there's some sneaky shit been going on around those Los Angeles Dodgers, and Dave Roberts is the face. He ain't fucking running the show, guys. At the end of the day, he ain't running the show. So thank you, baby Jesus. They have become way more of an analytical team, and I do expect more righties than lefties, even though they're saying more lefties than righties. So this is definitely a lineup and see type game before I bet the first 500, because these Dodgers are fucking smoking the ball. Now, I know a couple of my homies, shout out to Noli, they refuse to bet unders right now in these Dodger games, and I get it. These guys are crushing the fucking ball. They are 308 average with a 900-plus OPS and an ISO of 250 over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers. I get it, guys. I get it. They're crushing it. But if they load up a lefty-handed lineup, I expect good pitching to be good hitting. And I do look at Freddie Peralta as an ace. He is a good pitcher. So too bad he's not on a pitch limit. But the next guy isn't, guys. And let's talk about our next Dirty K of the day. We had our first one was up on the first game. Let's get to the next one. Julio fucking Urias. And he opened up at a 7+ minus 120. He got bet down to a plus 100, and that's when I took him, guys. And now he's at a plus 106. So the money is going against us a little bit, not too much, but I ain't scared. And let's get to it. He is at 6.5 on a Prize Picks, and his fantasy score is at a 38.5. When we do his strikeout prop and we break him down by the 10-8-6, he's averaging 6.2 over the last 10, 5.9 over the last 8, and 5.8 over the last 6. And they put him at a 7+. Well, I'll tell you what, they took out that one game versus the Cubs and then hit his average. And then we get up to that 6.5, guys. So he went up versus the Cubs earlier this year where we were on him. The strikeout number said play him, and he went 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, and he got the dog piss kicked out of him the very first inning. And they sat him down after a really good second inning and said, all right, kid, we'll see you in 5 days. And a lot of people didn't understand, but I get it, guys. At the end of the day, once you go over 30 pitches in an inning, it's the fucking death kiss to a pitcher, guys. You can't just get like, no. What are you putting him back out there for? So, yes, he went out there one more inning to eat up one, but then it was bullpen, and we ended up winning that game, and it was versus was it the Angels or the Cubs? It was the Cubs. It was the Cubs, yes. But yeah, let's get into number 41 in the black book. He's got a home 2.77 ERA and a road 2.2. He averages the same strikeouts home road with an 8.7, and he does strike out lefties way more than right-handed bats, and they are projected a dominant right-handed lineup. Still, I'm not worried too much about the strikeout numbers. Let's get into the guy we talked about last week, and what I think I got in my pocket on these books right now with Julio Urias that they're not taking in, and let's get to it. Oh. I'm stoked right now, guys. I'm going to get into it. Told you guys last week his velocity was back, and this is where we're going to get into it, guys. He had 16 swing and misses last week, 12 of them off of the fastball. We're getting old school Julio, guys, from last year, guys. Something kicked up over the last few weeks where his velo's back to 96 plus. This guy was at 92, 93 throughout the whole year, and he's been dominant throughout the whole year. But now it's back up to that 96 plus. His shit's playing so much more. His fastball's playing even better. This guy's got big confidence. And it's not just that, guys. He had an impressive 37% of a CSW, where the average in the league is a 29. CSW percent is a percentage taken in since StatCast, 2 years after StatCast, guys. It takes in pitches thrown as strikes, swings and misses, and pitches thrown. And it averages all together, very fucking simple percentage. League average is 29. 37% last week. He's at 35 the last 2 weeks. Is that a coincidence because his velocity's up? I think fucking not, guys. They're not taking that into the K-prop, guys. So give me Julio Urias, please and motherfucking thank you. Not just because of that. Let's get to it. 4 games this year where he's gone up against a team in the black book with a 26% K rate or higher, and he's averaging 6.5 per game. One of those games he only had 3, like I said earlier. He only went 2 innings. I averaged that into there, guys. He's still averaging 6.5. With that one game going 3. He's dominated teams with this strikeout percentage, and this team is striking out at a 29.2% over the last 15 days. 205 average, 613 OPS, and a 105 ISO. This is a beautiful spot by the numbers and knowing that my guy's velo's back. I will be on Julio Urias 7+ at even money, even though it has moved against me about 5 cents. Like I said, guys, I'm not fucking scared. We have one more game to talk about, 2 pitchers to talk about, and then I lied because we got to bring up that one that I told you once we hit 50 likes, we'd bring up. And we'll talk about that real quick at the end, and that's just the shadiest shit that the books do every once in a while, and you can't run into their shady traps. So shout out to the chat. I see you guys fucking booming today. Sorry that I haven't been calling your name. I know we got a lot to run through, and I'm on a time limit. So let's get to the fucking money. Without you guys, there ain't me. Smash the like if you haven't. Already almost 70 likes. You guys are the fucking shit if you don't know. But let's talk about Luis Castillo and fucking Showtime, guys. I'm on one of them, and I've been off the guy for 2 weeks when people were running into that Oakland wall. But 30K will be Shohei Ohtani. And let's talk about Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo has won a lot of money, too, for us, guys. He's number 45 in the black book. He was not open. He was not available last night. He opened up this morning at a -167. He went to a -182 at 7+, and now he's back down to a -167 at 7+. This morning, his 8+ was at a -103, and now it has been bet up to a -143. Now, I get everybody who's been on him. Now, this, to me, is the only alarm that I can't figure out what's going on here, guys. So I have to stay off of Luis Castillo here. Why was it at a 7+ at any given time at a bettable number? And why was 8+ at a -103 when the man is averaging 7.8 over his last 8 and 7.5 over his last 6? You're giving us the man's average at an even money prop That's alarm bell number one, guys. Okay, that to me says wake the fuck up, Sharpie. Go dig into this and see what's going on. Now he's at 7 on Prize Picks, which is still a minus 167, and his fantasy scores of 41.5. Mr. Consistent, averaging 9.4 at home. Granted, he's at a new home, guys. I only did that number to see what he did on the road, and it was pretty much the same, guys. He's averaging right around 9.6 if you do the math home road. So even though he's on a new team, it don't matter where he pitches. He averages about 9.5 strikeouts per 9, and he's a beast. He's an ace. I get it, guys. He's 99 problems, and he can be fucking one. So let's be real about that. The guy's been money, and I don't get why it was at a 7, and I still don't get why it was. I get now the minus 143. If it would have opened at that, I would have been on Castillo. The only reason why I'm going to stay off is because the juice and all that tells to me like, whoa, 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 whoa. He does strike out right-handed batters, 10 strikeouts per 9 compared to lefties at a strikeout per inning, so 9 per 9, no big deal. They are projected 5 left-handed bats and 4 right-handed bats. So by the numbers, 6 innings, 7 innings, he should have 7 strikeouts. Why was that a 7? A 7? Fucking why did it open at a 7? Castillo and the Angels, you would think, would easily hit your average versus the team we've been picking on all year for strikeout props because they're the Angels and they fucking suck. Not just by stupid layman terms. Yeah, they do. But we dig way deeper into that, guys. And I know everybody and their mom jumped on that Castillo number this morning. And to me, I said, whoa, this just don't make sense. I'd bet this guy if it was a number higher, but yeah, he has 8+ strikeouts in 5 of his last 6 games. Is that not another alarm bell that I had to write down? Okay, not being a back-to-back. Everything says fucking yes other than the alarm bells, guys. He's going up against a team that's walking 7.3%, bottom 10, striking out 25%, bottom 10, 225 average, 675 OPS with an ISO of 161. So I went even deeper, guys, and I dug into the black book. And you might call me fucking crazy, but I don't think he gets his K prop today. At the end of the day, he's faced 3 times this year a team with a 25% K percentage or worse. And at the end of the day, 24% is bad. 27 is when you want to put the dagger in type shit. They're right in between, guys. This is where you're supposed to dominate, guys. And this guy's dominated all year, right? Because he's fucking Castillo. He's Luis Castillo. He's a beast. 3 times this year versus a 25% K percentage team. 6-6-6. Not trying to say I'm the devil or he's the devil, guys, but at the end of the day, he's 0-3 to the number 7, let alone to the number 8 versus teams that are having high strikeout percentage. He's dominating teams that don't strike out. Not saying he doesn't hit his K prop today, guys. There's too many fucking red flags that I'm going to fucking Heisman Trophy on over to the Ohtani side, guys. And let's get into Shohei time. Shohei opened up, not available. This morning he was at a minus 129, and that's where I bet him, guys. And he's now went against me to a minus 113. And I think I understand it, and they can go fucking suck my balls at the end of the day because I'm going to cash, and they're not the ones that are betting the under. Because guess what? I wasn't on them in Oakland. I can get it. And if these are the type of people that are the basic-ass cappers that I think are betting this, they're looking at how he's done versus Seattle this year. Oh, well, if he did bad versus Oakland at the beginning of the year, couldn't do good again when he's seen Oakland. Man, baseball ain't that fucking easy, bro. If you really do think like that, dude, I'm sorry, bro, but Sharpie's Bets doesn't do that. And let's get into Showtime, and let's get to the fucking money. He's at 7.5 on Prize Picks. Fantasy scores at a 40.5. He averages 12 strikeouts, both home and road. Doesn't fucking matter where he's at per 9. His ERA is better at home with a 2.25 compared to a 3.18. 3.18 is still fucking great. 2.25 is elite. He is at home here, guys, and he dominates the left-handed side with a 12.4. Oh, both sides. Dominates both sides. He has a 12.4 versus lefties and a 13 strikeout versus righties. They're projected 5 left-handed and 4 right-handed bats, and neither really hits off of them. 197 from the right-handed side and 230 from the left-handed side. So I do expect them to be a left-handed dominant lineup today, but at the end of the day, this guy dominates them both sides strikeout-wise, and that's what we're betting here. Number 9 in the black book. Now, is it alarms that he's averaging 9.2, 9.3, and 10 over his last 10, 6, and 8, because I read it to you a little backwards right there. In a way, I thought, yes. I said, okay, they're not giving us his average, but then I'm like, no, they're doing what everybody else is doing, guys. They're looking and seeing his last 2 games. A little too much recency bias here. I do know Ohtani's throwing a lot more sliders than he has been, and that's why his strikeouts have gone way up through the roof. This team struggles versus the sliders, guys. We picked on them with Verlander. We picked on them with Javier. We picked on them with guys with good sliders, guys. So we're going to fucking pick on them again with a guy who has elite 4 or 5 different pitches. And when I run up these numbers to when he played them earlier this year, and he went 6 innings, 0 runs with 6 strikeouts, everything says he's going to do better. Now, the strikeout number is only at a 23.5%. Nothing really crazy bad, but it was only at a 22% last time they played. They were walking at a 10% clip, now down to an 8.8. They were hitting 240, now down to a 194. They were at a 718 OPS, now at a 606. They are not that same team. And let's get a little deeper into just the Black Book numbers and get into how does he pitch versus this team historically, guys. How does he do? Well, at the end of the day, he hasn't pitched well strikeout-wise versus the fucking Oakland A's. And that's one thing what we take into another part of our capping here, guys, is we'll also take in history. It's not just numbers. It's not just history. It's not just pitches fucking that people struggle with. I've got multiple things that I've got going on here, guys, that I've picked up and learned and added to my toolbox, guys, and it works. So with this guy, when I run through his fucking shit with Oakland, he averaged 6.2 strikeouts a game since last year versus Oakland. Well, this ain't fucking Oakland, where this is the Seattle Mariners, where in 3 games, including the game this year, he is averaging 8.7 strikeouts a game. You guys are putting a little too much into this recency bias of the Oakland A's, guys. At the end of the day, the Oakland A's just haven't really struck out to showtime. It is what it is. There's multiple games over the last 2 years where Oakland's hit that 5 number on them, guys. Is that a coincidence? No. They just must see the fucking guy well. They're in the same division. They see him a lot. Well, Seattle's only seen him. This will be the 4th time in 2 years, guys. Not enough. They've seen him back in June when they were doing a little better, like I said, and he still dominated them. I expect one of those days from Showtime. Showtime gonna cash us a ticket today, guys. So 8+ is a dirty K. And yes, we're getting to the money today. Shout out to you guys. Smash the fucking like if you haven't. And let's talk about Josiah Gray right quick. Last week, I bet Josiah Gray versus the Chicago Cubs at 6 strikeouts, minus 145. He went 6-point-something innings, only had 5 strikeouts and lost. Now, on a back-to-back, is it a coincidence that they have it at a 7? 7. So, got 5 last week, and now it's a 7. So the average person is going to go straight to the box score and be like, oh my fucking God. No, I don't run people on back-to-back. Back-to-backs are never good, and it's always bad. Well, not always. I'd say the majority part. But for a book to pop it up 2 more strikeouts than what the guy even got last week on a back-to-back, let alone the motherfucker only got 5. Look, we got Cookie Carrasco in the same spot. The guy got 6 strikeouts versus the same team within a 10-day period, and they put it at a 6. This guy got 5 within a 5-day period. It opened at a 6 last week, and now it's at a 6.5. Everything to the average fucking bettor is going to go under. There's no reasoning for me to tell you to bet the over other than just please don't bet the under. It's way fishy here. I did have to put some money on the over because I'm sick of being right and not making nothing. I'm not telling you to follow me here. But when shit has been fishy, it's been fucking fishy, guys. And there's no reason they should have put a 7, guys. At the end of the day, there should not have been a 7 on Josiah Gray today on a back-to-back where he had 5 in the first game out. So shady is what shady was, but no mas, no more. Shout out to you guys. Smash the like if you already haven't, and go on over to Prize Picks. Use that promo code PubSports. Your first match deposit up to $100, they got you. So do us a favor, do you a favor, and go use that promo code. Until next time, We got 3 fucking dirty Ks. Go back through the show and check it out. If you haven't, I'm not going to recap it because, yeah, showtime, baby. It's showtime.